Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, Sowore continues to be in the custody of the Department of State Services despite having met the bail conditions set and having been released by Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu. So the Department of State Services continue to retain this guy in their custody, and the reasons that they are giving for continuing to detain this guy is not too dissimilar to the reasons that they gave when they continued to hold him after Justice Taiwo granted him the initial bail after having completed his 45 days with them, which was what Justice Taiwo granted originally. So now they are coming up with the same set of reasons, and with that guys, I bring you this: why we have not released Sowore. That's the headline, and that is attributed to the SSS. So why we have not released Sowore, and that is a headline attributed to the Department of State Services. So now let's see what they have to say. Nigeria's State Security Service has denied claims by lawyers representing the detained publisher of Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, that they were being prevented from taking Mr. Sowore after meeting his bail conditions on Wednesday. The SSS spokesperson, Peter Ofanaya, in a text message midnight Wednesday, said the claims by Mr. Sowore's lawyers that the publisher was denied bail after meeting his conditions were false. This is not true. The SSS has not been informed by the judicial authorities or any legal representative that the bail conditions have been met accordingly. The media shouldn't allow itself to be used as agents of misinformation, Mr. Ofanaya said. The SSS spokesperson was responding to questions sent to his phone line after the media was informed by a lawyer representing Mr. Sowore, Emmanuel Ogala, that they were prevented from taking Mr. Sowore after fulfilling his bail conditions Wednesday evening. The judge, Ijeoma Ojukwu, has signed his release warrant, but the SSS claim they were closed. We were told that they closed for 3:30 p.m., Mr. Ogala had said. A similar argument had ensued when Mr. Sowore was first granted bail by the same court presided over by another judge, Taiwo. After Mr. Sowore's lawyers said they were barred from taking the publisher and right activist, the SSS described the claim as false and added that it had not received a formal communication regarding Mr. Sowore's release order at the time. After that declaration, Mr. Sowore's lawyers made another attempt but were again barred from taking Mr. Sowore. The lawyers were led by the foremost right activist, Femi Falana. The security operatives later filed a formal charge against Mr. Sowore, who was not charged to court at the time, despite his arrest the previous month on the 3rd of August. The prosecution lawyers had also told the court after filing the charge that the recent charge invalidated Mr. Sowore's first release order and that the activist could only be released if a fresh bail application was favorably considered and its conditions met by the defense team. Mr. Sowore, who contested for the presidency in the 2019 general election, is facing trial for alleged treasonable felony and fraud after he planned a nationwide anti-government protest with the hashtag Revolution Now. The Nigerian government had indicated a resolve to present secret witnesses testifying against Mr. Sowore during the trial on Wednesday. So now this is now the latest development. It's the same set play that these people seem to have. You recall that during the Justice Taiwo saga, Justice Taiwo set the release for this guy, and Femi Falana then promptly took that release from the court and went to present it at the DSS, and then they gave excuses that the court had not transmitted to them formally, and that Femi Falana rather should know better. So now these people, this DSS, are now telling a senior advocate of Nigeria how the legal process should work. So they used all of these delay tactics until they went back to that court to file new charges under a judge, by the way, that was favorable to them, Ijoma Ojoko. So they went back to that court to file charges that was then fresh charges, and they held him under those new charges that these new charges now invalidates the previous bail that was granted, because they are now holding him under these charges which they have now filed in court, and the court has now grant a fresh bail for them to release him. So they then set these charges against him, and the court then went on to set these very stringent bail conditions that they thought would be impossible to meet, but these bail conditions have now been varied and have now been met. And again, now the lawyers have now taken this release form now from Justice Ijoma Ojoko to the DSS. So they went yesterday, and first the DSS said that they were closed, and now next they are now coming out with the same set play that they used for the Justice Taiwo bail to now play that play again on this bail condition. So you now see what is going on. This is just one of the most ridiculous scenarios that you'd ever see, because they will hold on to this guy and hold on to him, and then they'll hold on to him, and then they will roll into the weekend, and I think Monday is a public holiday, and they'll continue to hold on to him and hold on to him until they go and think of some new, fresh and more ridiculous charges to level against him and say, okay, we've got this new fresh set of charges, and we're holding him under this new fresh set of charges, and then they'll go around the loop of the court again, and then the court will grant him bail again, and then they will ignore that bail again, of course, and they'll come up with fresh charges again. So Mrs. Sowore, please do not set an extra place at your Christmas table for Omoyele, because he is not coming home anytime soon. Sadly, that seems to be the case, and I'm saying that really because we've seen this countlessly under the Nigerian system, and especially under this particular regime. They operate outside the rule of law, and they are a law unto themselves, and if you want to hold you, they will hold you, and there's absolutely nothing that anybody can do about it. Conversations in the comment section. I am really not surprised, are you? Come tell me all about it in the comment section, what you think is going on with this Omoyele situation that we are seeing playing out before our very own eyes. But before you come have this conversation, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me if you think Omoyele Sowore will ever be released under this particular Malam Buhari regime. If you think he will ever walk the streets a free man under the Buhari regime, come tell me what you think about that in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Join in the comment section, but here I say peace.